I'd like to talk about quartersawn wood and why it is the wood that you want to see on a guitar. This is what quartersawn wood looks like. This happens to be a piece of oak, and you can see that this is a cut off from a board, and you can see the grain lines run up and down compared to the face of the board. Ideally, you'd be cutting this way, and so you would have, backs or sides or whatever. By the way, oak, really good sound wood. People don't know it. People don't know that 100 years ago, a little over 100 years ago, a lot of the companies made guitars out of oak. Now, granted, they were the lower end of the spectrum because oak was the lower end of the furniture spectrum. And realistically, guitars, as they were priced the same as furniture. So you got your lower end with oak, you got your medium grade with mahogany, you got your higher grade with rosewood. That's how it was with furniture, that's how it was with guitars. Had nothing to do with the sound quality of the instruments. Okay, it totally had to do with the resale value and the placement of the various woods in social status, as it were. So that's why people are stuck on rosewood as the best tone wood, is because it was the primo wood for high-end furniture making. Okay, the grain should always run perpendicular to the face of the back or top or sides of an instrument. Now, there's a reason for that. Wood, if it's solid, is going to react with humidity changes. It's going to swell when the humidity gets higher, when there's more water in the air, and it's going to shrink when there's less water in the air. What that means is that it will shrink this way and this way. Okay, think of it as this way. Okay, this being a surface that is slab sawn if we slice it, and this being quartersawn if we slice it. Now, it's also called radial sawn and tangential sawn. Quartersawn and flat sawn, slab sawn works for me. Now, why is this preferable? Well, there's a very specific reason, and that is that the way the wood wants to crack is perpendicular to the grain. Now let me turn this around and show you, because this piece of wood is actually cracked in the normal way it would work, and that is perpendicular to the grain. You can see how this has cracked. Okay, if this is sawn this way in layers, it's much less likely to show up as a crack if we have shrinkage there. Whereas if it's sawn this way, we've got cracks going directly right up and down. Now, I'll show you a picture of some very expensive guitar sets that you can buy that are totally sawn the wrong way. And people seem to like it because it looks swoopy and all cool. Well, it's not all cool if it breaks, if it cracks on you when it didn't have to crack on you. Now, certainly any thin wood is going to crack if it's subjected to enough stress. Usually, some sort of blow or an extreme shift in humidity. But the key is that in this direction, there's less shrinkage with humidity than there is in this direction. You can look that up in terms of tangential versus radial shrinkage. In almost all woods, the tangential shrinkage, the slab sawn shrinkage, is much more than the radial shrinkage or the quartersawn shrinkage. And that means a more stable instrument. That means that the arches that are built in stay arches instead of collapsing in drier humidities. It just means an overall better quality instrument. So that's why we want to deal with radial or otherwise quartersawn wood. The other thing that's really cool about quartersawn wood is that different kinds of wood will show what's called medullary rays. Now you can sort of see there are some little lines here going across, kind of thick lines actually, and those are medullary rays. You can see them throughout here, little spots here and there. Those only show up on the quartersawn face. Now I'm going to show you another type of wood here. This is sycamore, and it shows the same thing very well. So this is a board of sycamore, and it's beautifully quartersawn. I'm not sure you can see that, but its grain is running this way. And we see a really nice pattern of medullary rays there. There's a small knot going right across there, which is one reason this hasn't been sawn up yet. Most of the rosewoods don't show very much in terms of the medullary rays. So you have kind of a situation where they can be quartersawn, but they don't really show the way these domestic woods do. Oftentimes with mahogany you will get some. They're not as distinct as this. And with spruce it can be very fine, very fine. With Sitka spruce you can get darker medullary rays and you can see quite a pronounced pattern of them. But with European spruces, generally not so much. It's there, and it's not to be confused with what's called bear claw, or German word is what, Hasselflecht or something, which is wavy grain. It's not the same thing at all. So look for that. The other thing you want to look for, given the way the grain runs, is that you want to look for stripes, grain stripes, running the full length. If it moves off, that's a warning sign. If you have swirls like this, that's a warning sign. Not good, not radially sawn. That's a sure sign of slab sawn. So avoid that wood. There's no sound advantage to that at all. If you like the swoopy things, just figure you're going to have to take care of it. Don't subject it to anything like a severe change in humidity. You will be inviting disaster. So, at any rate, that's my quick little shot at quartersawn versus slab sawn.